2 weeks before Valentine's Day, xTool Studio updates and casually drops 2 generators that can spit out a finished gift in just minutes. This is the personalized rose with my name. You gotta take care of number 1, right? And this is the couple swing bench with a little brick style, Lego style couple. They're the cutest thing. I'm going to show you the whole workflow from generator to cut to finished product with real tips that will save you time and material. Also, a little confession, I think it's going to be pretty obvious, but I'm horrible at staying inside the lines with these paint markers. The markers are great. They're a little thick. It turned out just so good. That tells you how much of the heavy lifting xTool Studio and the generators are doing. I was working on my AI Make video. I got out of the studio, I came back in, and then a prompt popped up asking me to update. I ignored it at first, but these updates often come with some new tools and generators and some nice little features. So I took a look. They changed the menu, mostly a cosmetic thing, I think. But what got my attention were these 3 little items at the bottom, right? 2 are perfect for Valentine's, and the third one is clearly Christmas themed. So I'm skipping that one today. This is going to be a fast tutorial. I will show you where the generators live, the options that actually matter, and a couple of quick edits on the canvas, then settings for score, engrave, and cut on that 3mm birch plywood I still have around. Then we'll do a quick garage montage there and look at the finished results, all right? Now, you will find these generators inside the application menu. The look changed a little bit, like I said. It's mostly cosmetic. But what got my attention were those 3 guys way at the bottom. Flower, Christmas ornament, and couple swing. I mean, they don't complicate themselves too much with the names. You can generate new or pick up where you left off if you started already. In both, you run through a customization process, and then you can either import it to the canvas directly or you can save it as an SVG, ready to use later or in another machine. We'll do the flower generator first, just to get started. This one is literally the definition of what I think is a quick win. When you open it, you will get about 21 different flower options. I'm an old-fashioned guy, so I picked the first rose that I saw there. On the left, you can select the leaf, then tweak the size, the position, the stem length, all that good stuff. And of course, the leaf style. I don't know much about flowers, but I kept the default there. Then you have the text controls with sliders to move the text left or right, plus the vertical slider. Here there are 2 options that I actually care about, the outline and the letter spacing. I used the outline there because I wanted more material and a stronger overall flower. I don't know if you know what I mean, but without it, I feel like the flower might just break with me looking at it. So I figure more material, the stronger the flower will be. For this test, I basically left most of the defaults. But when you're happy changing what you need to change, just import it into the canvas. Like I said, you can also save it as an SVG if you want to work on it later, or you want to take it to another laser. And if you're not happy with your selections, you can always start from 0. Sometimes you know how it is. You get into customizing things and then you went too far, and it's better just to start from 0. There's also a guide button if you get lost. It has this little pop-up, little messages that will tell you what button is for what, and it will navigate you through the process if you just got lost. Now, when you bring it into the canvas, I would keep the original size, and then I would just adjust later to fit your laser bed. At this point is where I do my usual layer sanity check. I set my cut layer color to red, always, so that I know what is what, and then I select the cutting option. We then ungroup the graphic. We release the compound vector there for the top portion of the flower. Select the name and set it to engrave. Now, again, for my own sanity, I changed that layer color to blue. Now you gotta go back to the name and make sure that those cutouts from the inside of the letters are also selected. And then you create what is called a compound vector. And that way you'll see the cutouts turn white again, and the rest of the letters and the name, they will turn blue for engraving, right? And the next step is purely because I'm not the best at gluing. I'm not the best at painting either. I create a small offset to give myself a little space. Then I take the inner line and set that to score. With that, I have a physical guide for where to glue later on. I select my material there from the top. I use the 3mm birch plywood. For both score and engrave, I just take the defaults there that is offered in that one built-in set. For the cut, I know what works for this plywood, and it tends to cut at 100% power and 13mm per second speed. I also use that focus descent, they label it now, and I just take the 3mm default. That will get me a solid cut. And yes, I use the preview. Call it gimmicky, call it whatever you want, but it has saved me from so many mistakes you don't even know. I also rotated the bottom portion of the flower to use that real estate a little better. You know, plywood is expensive, so I ran out to the garage. I measure things, I mark things, you know, all that good stuff. The total time for cut plus engrave was about 7 minutes and 50 seconds. When all was said and done, I checked it. Great, it was a really nice cut. I got a nice engraving and the marking was very good. There were some scorch marks. It could be because my machine is not very clean, or to be honest with you, the quality of that plywood is not the best. So I took it to my bench and I used the Dremel. It worked great, except for that one letter S in Severna. I went a little too Dremel happy with it and ended up taking a lot more material than I thought it was going to do. But this is just a test, it's not a big deal. So if you see that faded S, it was just me and my Dremel. Once I was satisfied, I checked the fitting, you know, everything looked very good. So I took it back inside and I start painting with this acrylic markers. I just used 2 colors, not complicating myself too much here. Red and green for the leaves. I tried to stay inside the lines, but you know how that went. Then the gluing is always a challenge, but that score guide actually helped a lot. Once everything was done, I can tell you that was way too easy, considering everything. I think with a little prep and doing it a second time, I honestly think you can knock this out in about 15 minutes. Now, some quick heads up, right? There are links in the description as always. You'll find there the acrylic paint markers that I'm using. I love those guys. I think they're fantastic. Some of the glue, some of the accelerator. You also see some of the laser links, all that good stuff. You know where they are down in the description. If you buy anything using those links, those are affiliate links like you probably know. They cost you absolutely nothing, but maybe a little small commission will come my way, so I thank you very much for that. Now the swing. This guy was less painting on purpose, a little more assembly, but it worked out very well. It looked simple at first, but then you realize it's just a tiny wooden kit of sorts. With the swing, you have 6 templates, 6 different swings, 40 plus decorations, plus the text. You can also upload your own picture, either a couple or 2 solo pictures. Then you change the style with these different options. I think you have 5 options there. You can also use AI at various points here for editing or creating your own images. It's labeled free, so, you know, take advantage of it. It might be worth testing. I took one of the default templates, changed the couple style there, removed some of the decorations, and moved some of the other things around. It's pretty easy. There are a lot of customization options here. You can spend, you know, half a day just playing with that. If you want more guidance, there's an assembly tutorial video there, and that will show you the steps of, you know, some of the settings or putting it together. It's pretty useful. It also mentions this curve offset because you want that fit to be very snug in some of those pieces. Below that video, there's a link also to download the actual curve test from xTool. Go ahead and do that. I think it's very helpful if you pay attention. I went through it, I cut it, I tested, and then I thought that I said it correctly, and I must have missed something somewhere, and I forgot to plug the numbers. My fit was a bit too loose. It wasn't a disaster or anything like that because the CA glue was very helpful, and one of those pieces helped me anchor that lamp. So nothing that CA glue and a little persuasion can't fix. Now, when you import it into the canvas, you'll see a lot of parts all over the place spread out there on your canvas. Don't panic. It looks like a mess, but it actually makes sense once you start assembling it. From here, I select everything and just set up for cutting. I then ungroup it. I select the couple there and I make sure that the inner portion of the image is set to engrave. And I do my usual colors, red for cutting, blue for engraving. Because there were so many parts, I use a bit of smart nesting and also moving things around myself. Smart nesting didn't work 100%, but it was good. It got me very close. Cutting and engraving time for the swing was 16 minutes and 21 seconds. Assembly was pretty easy. Remember that video too? You'll figure it out. I then glued everything and decided to paint after the fact. Some of the pieces are very small. Having them glued actually helped me get that painting done a lot quicker. Like I told you, that fit was a bit loose, but I managed. So after I was done, I asked the wife to check it out, and she loved both of them. Mission accomplished the way I see it. Now, here's the big takeaway from all this. You can put both of these designs together in the software and get them out of your laser in under 1 hour, easily. With practice and a little prep, you can cut that time in half easily. 3 rapid fire tips from my run. Number 1, do the curve test. No questions asked. It helps a lot. Plus, it will help you understand all that and it will help you in future projects. Now, that is for the swing. Number 2, if I was selling this stuff, I would probably use that masking tape or marking paper, whatever it's called. So you cover and protect the surface of your piece, and that will help you minimize those burn marks, especially on the cheap birch plywood that I have. Number 3, if you're using these acrylic markers, I think they're great. But see if you can find the thinner tips. It will help you stay inside the lines 100%. And if you're sanding with a Dremel, be careful. I overdid it, and as you saw, I almost sanded off that S in Severna. I had a lot of fun making these products. I think there is a lot of good there to check out. So I want to do a live session, and I want to call it like Studio Generator Build Clinic or something like that. I will play some of the clips that I gather. I have a lot of videos that I made for this project. I'll show you some variations in the studio. We'll talk settings and we'll talk curve in more detail. And we'll do some troubleshooting live if you have any questions with anyone who wants to join. It's open to everyone, so come on out. When everything is ready, I will share the date and I will plug the link in the description or in a pinned comment down below. If you like fast projects that actually look impressive, hit the subscribe. I'm still working on AI Make, but this generator update got my attention. I think it's just kind of a good example of where a studio is going. More speed, more automation, more finished projects without starting from scratch. Drop a comment if you like these generators, if you're working with some of them yourself. If you want to talk about generators, studio, lasers, whatever you want, join that build clinic. So that is the full test of the 2 new generators from the latest update of xTool Studio. Like I said, that personalized rose is the fastest win, especially if you want something you can customize with a name and finish in one sitting. The couple swing bench takes longer because it's bigger and because of the assembly, but it has that extra wow factor, I think, when it's all done. These generators are not just cute templates, not at all. They are a shortcut to a finished project. You still control the settings, you can still edit on the canvas, but you're not starting from a blank screen. If this video helped you get to the finish line faster, hit that like button and subscribe to Severna Builds. I did. To my Patreon supporters, you guys are just awesome. Thank you so much for being there for me all the time. Thank you. So that was it. This is Alex for Severna Builds. I will see you on the next one.